Check it out now. Welcome back to the perpendicular mouth. Violating in the holes over y'all about. We're about to show you motherfuckers what we're talking about. So sit back and just relax and relax the clutch. Never getting on the mic, yeah, we do that too. Everybody old show and I thought you knew. Real life of Brutha Zach, and we put all do is to sit back and take a brew while we do what we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Perpendicular Mouths.
We're back.
Violating your ear holes, defecating on the microphone. My name is Zach. The man to my right, his name is Realize. Whoa. We go hard so you can keep it soft and silky like a Velveteen Rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special show like we do every week. We do this weekly?
Well,
Yeah, every week.
Bi-weekly.
We are bi-weekly curious, and we do this every week or two-ish. And this week is no exception because we have a wonderful show where we're going to talk about soup, the greatest soup of all
time.
And it's a super-sized show. We're going to talk about soupy sales and Superman and all these soup accoutrements that goes with the soup world.
It's a soup spectacular.
A soup-tacular.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about some soup-related items that are of interest to you?
Before we get into the soups, and yes, I have many soup side dishes, soup things, soup spoons, soup bowls that I do want to get into, but we got to touch on the last episode we did first, which was episode Seeds Nuts, because we made some mistakes. Okay?
Well, yes. Some would say they were mistakes. Some would say they were intentional acts of revenge.
Okay. Well, it had been brought to my attention by the perps that we did not mention cashews or pistachios in our list of the greatest seeds and nuts of all time. And for that, we apologize.
Is that because they are garbage nuts?
Some people I love a cashew. Cashew is delicious. You don't love a cashew?
No.
You don't love a pistachio? It's green.
No. I see pistachio commercials all the time with John Cena as an elephant.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's fine. People like pistachios. I'm going to take an almond. I'm going to take an almond all day.
Well, our perps aren't even as classy as you because over the peanuts and the almond debate, they chose the greatest nut of all time to be Bustin'. Bustin' nut won as the greatest nut of all time. I disagree. I prefer a cashew. I like a pistachio. I like almond milk. I like a peanut. But our perps are perverts. So what I suggest we do is we will reintroduce the poll on our page and bring it back to the people and let them choose between cashews, pistachios, almonds, and peanuts for the second greatest nut of all time after Bustin'. How about that?
Would you expect anything less from anybody who would be on our page or watching this show?
I'm just saying, you never know. You never know. So, without further ado, let's get to today's episode. But
soup. But
before we get into soup, let's talk about some soup things. There's a whole plantation of soup out there.
Oh, we got rid of those hundreds of years ago, sir.
I'm telling you, which is what I'm kind of talking about. Doesn't it kind of shock you that we have a soup plantation? Like, that's just okay? The soup plantation?
Well, here's the question. Who's out there working the soup fields? Is that where soup comes from?
Who's in these soup kitchens? Out there working on the soup plantation, making sure we got all the soups. That's a salad bar. That's a racist sizzler, if you ask me, without the bad meat.
You ain't wrong.
Let's talk about there's the Olive Garden. They got all you can eat soup, salad, and breadsticks. And I tell you what, I like me some Olive Garden soup. How do you feel about some Olive Garden soup?
I'm going to tell you, it is by far the weakest of the three. You got your salad, which is fantastic. You got your breadsticks, unparalleled, and then you got your soup. It's fine.
Yeah. You know what I appreciate about the Olive Garden salad is they're like, oh, here's your delicious salad, sir or madam. Would you like me to just grind a ton of cheese right into your salad? Just grinded cheese right into. How about I grind the cheese right on your soup? They could grind the cheese right on your breadstick if you wanted. Who's gonna stop?
And then not only that, then you got the motherfucker coming behind with some pepper and start working that pepper in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and then the all you can drink wine. This is turning into an Olive Garden episode.
You say all you can drink wine?
I think it's a thing. Is it not a thing?
Well, I'm gonna go find out if it's a thing.
You need to go. Look, they got toasted raviolis. They got something called Italian nachos. Go to the Olive Garden. Why not?
Well, because there's no Olive Gardens near me, you dick. But otherwise, I will find one and we'll get it happening.
All right. Well, that shit sounds classy. Okay. Yeah. So what else? Oh, you know what I love? I love a bread bowl. How do you feel about a bread bowl?
I am not a fan of bread bowl, and I'll tell you why. Because if bread were meant to be a bowl, we wouldn't have bowls. I like a bowl that's actually going to hold my shit. Because bread, if you poke it, you're going to put a hole in it. If you poke a bowl, nothing's going to happen. And I'm not going to start leaking soup out onto everything just because somebody wants to put some shit in bread.
Brother Zach, you are so wrong per the usual. A bread bowl is the only bowl worth using. And if I had my way, we'd be using bread forks and bread spoons and bread knives.
Yep, you eat your cereal out of a bread bowl?
You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. In fact, I prefer my bread in bowl form generally. That's how I wish. If I could, I'd eat every liquid meal out of bread. But, you know, it's not up to me.
You know the only thing that would go good in a bread bowl?
Soup. That sounds good too. That's when you.
I'll put some butter in a bread bowl, and then you know what I'll do? I'll rip that bitch up, and I'm gonna eat it like bread.
Okay.
So why waste time putting it in bowl form?
All right, fine. Sounds like your mouth is dumb. But okay, let's talk about crackers. This is your area of expertise. There's saltine crackers. Do you like saltines? I don't like saltines.
I like saltines.
See?
You know why? Because they're salty. And because I'm a white man.
Right. What about oyster crackers? I never really understood why they even call it an oyster cracker, except you dump it on top of the clam chowder. Right?
Yeah, I think I've had oyster crackers. I think they're just like buttery crackers, right?
No. They're little hexagons. They look like little King Tenny stop signs, but they're just like a saltine puff. It's weird. I don't know why it's called oyster cracker.
Listen, we're 5 minutes into this podcast, and I've done this like 11 times just because I have no idea what's going on with all this bread stuff.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So much bread and cracker that I don't think I'm entrenched in this world of bread and cracker.
All right, my man. Well, in that case,
what are oyster crackers? I don't know oyster crackers.
You don't know what an oyster cracker is?
That's what I'm saying. I thought I had oyster cracker. I don't know oyster cracker.
No, you don't. Buttery cracker. That's a club cracker, which is good. That's a quality cracker.
Yeah, like Ritz, and yeah, of course, yeah, I like Ritz.
Let me tell you, until I'm putting it on the Ritz, I'm putting it on a Ritz.
Right.
Like that one? All right, let's keep it moving. Okay, so let's just jump right into the soups. But before we get into the greatest soups of all time, let's talk about the soups that didn't make the cut. The soups that
didn't make the cut. We have a long list of soups.
We got a lot of soup, but there are certain things that didn't make the cut. First off, chili is not a soup. Can we agree on that? Chili is chili.
Yes. No, chili's chili. Chili's not a soup. It's not meat and bean soup. That's ridiculous. Who says it's a soup? Who says it's a soup?
No, nobody says it's a soup. But I just wanted to put that out there right out the bat. Chili is chili. It's not on this list because chili is not soup.
Chili's not a soup.
Chili is chili.
Chile is a third member of TLC.
Chile, and it's also a Latin American country in South America, but it's not soup. Okay? And let me tell you something else. There's not just one type of chili. There's many chilies. All meat chili, all bean chili, white chicken chili. Still not soups. Not soup.
I'd say white chicken chili is definitely a soup.
Well, I'm just saying. All right.
I'm lying. That is not a soup, and anybody who thinks it's a soup needs to leave right now.
You're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. Okay, so let me tell you what else didn't make the cut. Butternut squash. You ever had butternut squash soup?
Oh, what do you mean butternut squash by itself? Butternut squash by itself is a squash.
Well, yeah.
I just want to put that out there.
Fair. And while we're at it, butter by itself is butter and nut by itself is nut. But butternut squash is soup, and it has the consistency and texture, and some might even argue the taste of vomit.
Yeah, I could see. I didn't even know that was a thing. But let me ask you this: do you think butternut squash is just squash with butter and nut on it?
It's not good. I don't know. You know what I think it is? I think it's like when you're in a fall and there's all these pumpkins and stuff. They were just trying to find reasons or like ways to eat their gourds. Now you know these are gourds, right?
Stupid gourd people.
That's what I'm saying. And they're doing their butternut squash soup, and it's not a good soup. I'm sure someone can make it tasty, and I probably just haven't had that version ever. But it's definitely not the greatest soup of all time. Get out of here with your butternut squash.
Yeah,
Okay?
I didn't even know it was a thing. So no, it's not a soup.
Let me tell you what else didn't make the list. Borscht.
What?
Borscht.
What's that?
No, borscht. It's like a Russian cold
Russian?
beet. It's beet. It's a beet soup. Now I like beets.
No. Well, why do you like beets? Nobody likes beets.
No, look, okay. Let me tell you why I like beets. First off, I'm not just talking about eating beets like popping beets like you might a can Jello. That's not what I'm talking about.
Are you talking about Beats by Dre?
No, not Beats by Dre, but I see how you could make that mistake. I'm talking about these little red root vegetables that you can pickle, though. I've had them pickled, and they're delicious. You ever had a pickled beet, Zach? You ever had a pickled beet? Not a fan of the pickled beet, huh?
Not a fan of the beet. They're very red and purple and not tasty. No,
you're not about that life, huh? All right, well, borscht. Get out of here, borscht.
Yeah, if it has beets in it, it don't fly.
Okay, let me tell you what else didn't make our list. Cream of cream of mushroom, cream of celery, cream of asparagus, cream of corn. Is cream of corn a soup?
Cream of some young guy.
Cream of some young guy. Cream of chicken. Now, these are good. Like, I love me a green bean casserole. Are you a green bean casserole man?
I'm not. I don't hate it, but no, I'm not a fan.
Really?
Nah.
You haven't tasted my green bean casserole. One of these days, Brother Zach, I'm going to have you taste my green bean casserole, get your finger all up in there, and just eat green bean casserole right off your hand.
That could be true. I would not put it past it.
Man, okay, but these cream of soups on their own, that's not the greatest soup of all time. Ain't nobody saying cream of chicken is the #1 soup. You'd have to be out of your goddamn mind. Cream of broccoli, that's not even the best broccoli soup. You know what I'm saying? This is not the greatest soup. Get out of here with
you know what those soups are good for? Making casseroles. You make a good casserole, you get some cream of, like a chicken, rice, broccoli casserole. You get some cream of chicken, some cream of broccoli, some cream of celery.
Right.
Yeah, and it holds everything together. It's like a gelatinous. It's a connector. It's not a soup.
It's a flavor saver.
It's a flavor starter.
Fine, but it's not the greatest soup of all time. Let's keep this thing moving. What about, Brother Zach, how do you feel about minestrone? You like a good minestrone? I
went to Minestrone when I was young. We took a play. I have a lot of family up in Minestrone, Minneapolis, St. Paul to be specific.
Is that right? There's a place, Minestrone, Minneapolis? Minestrone, Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. Oh. No, I don't know Minestrone.
Okay, well, let me tell you something about this minestrone. Minestrone is like a bean soup. And one thing that's good about soup is it's a way to get your family to eat beans. And beans is a thing you can eat when you're a poor person. And beans is something that gives you protein and iron or some shit. And if you don't eat meat, you got to eat your beans. And minestrone's got beans, aplenty in it. There are other bean soups. There's 15 bean soup, 9 bean soup. Just throw out a random number of however many different types of beans you got. Call it soup. That's a soup. But it's not the greatest soup of all time. And neither is a minestrone. Because it's just like, it's okay, but it feels like kind of like a leftover soup. Like you get all your leftovers, you put in some tomato soup, and then boom, minestrone. Not the greatest soup of all time.
Let me retort by saying this. Beans, they're good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the better you feel. So let's eat beans for every meal. Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's sound logic. It sounds like this. See what I did there?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I guess to counter that, I would say beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. Your thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Strong. You're right. Minestrone's out.
Minestrone, you're out of this bitch.
He's out. Yep.
Let me look at this. Now, I got a big list of soups in front of me, but there's not a lot that I just want to disqualify right off the top. Well, okay, there's one here that I think we can get rid of, and it's a good soup, but it's not the greatest soup of all time. Mushroom and barley. You ever had a mushroom and barley soup?
Well, I've had a mushroom. I've had barley in my beer. Could make beer out of barley?
Right.
I know horses eat barley.
You had mushrooms on your penis?
No. That's weird. I know mushrooms are legal in Denver.
Yes.
That's about all I know. That's the extent of my mushroom and barley knowledge.
Well, okay. So first off, mushrooms, cream of mushroom, barley, good. But there's even better ways to have a mushroom soup, and there's one on the list. And I don't want to, I don't want to give it away right now. Spoiler, you know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to
Listen, people need to be surprised by the soups that we say. That's
mushroom soup to come.
It's the premise of the show.
That's right. So without further ado, why don't we get into the proceedings?
Okay, well then why don't we start with everybody's favorite soup, chicken noodle. And here's why. It's because every week we just randomly throw things out there and then we're like, oh, you know what? We get to somewhere like that one's going to win. So why don't we just get there right now? Let's just say chicken noodle, and let's just find out if anything can knock off the chicken noodle.
Now, chicken noodle might be the GOAT soup, which is, what this show is about. So we're essentially giving chicken noodle the pole position into this whole competition.
Listen, chicken noodle has privilege.
Right.
In our stage. And, we're not one to celebrate privilege, but we are one to completely acknowledge privilege and that it exists, and to, to help and cultivate it at every turn. As a white man, I fully appreciate this. So why don't we start with the most privileged soup of all, chicken noodle? And why don't we put chicken noodle up against, I don't know, maybe the first one on the list? What do you say?
Well, let me ask you this. If we are going to go ahead and just start jumping into the proceedings, do we want to do a versus at all because we have so many soups, or do we want to just say, let's just go into it? Because, for example, we got two different chowders. We got two clam chowders. There's a red and a white debate. Is that worth having in advance, or do we want to just dump one right off the jump?
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a clam chowder?
Yes.
Have you had the red?
I have.
Have you had the white?
Oh, I have. And I have had the
Which is better?
New England clam chowder. It's not even close. That Manhattan clam chowder is garbage.
Now, isn't there two types of New England clam chowder? And here's why I ask. It's because I have seen the movie Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. And I know that the secret words to get into the secret base are New England clam chowder. And then he asks, is it the red or the white? And he says, I can remember this. And it's the white.
It's got to be. Look, we've already had perps chiming in. They're right. They said you got to dump the red. Nobody wants that red clam chowder. It's New York elitists thinking that their version of everything is better. They got to be fancy, but it's not as good. I don't want a tomato-based broth with my clam chowder. I want a creamy broth with little teeny tiny potatoes in it. New England clam chowder all day. I think we go New England clam chowder versus chicken noodle. How about that?
I don't know where it is on the list.
Well,
does that make a difference?
Don't worry about that. We'll make that work, but let's just jump straight into it and see. We got one out there.
New England clam chowder?
chicken noodle soup versus New England clam chowder. Let's have at it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've never had New England clam chowder. It sounds terrible. I don't want to eat clams. I want to eat chickens and noodles.
Wait a second now. You've never had clam chowder?
No. Why would I eat clam chowder?
Wait.
And also, anything from New England is garbage outside of Samuel Adams beer. So what's the point?
Hold on.
Oh.
I think we need to explain to the perps right off the bat that Zach has the palate of like a 6-year-old. He likes hot dog. He likes cheeseburger. He likes, apparently he likes some Zinfandel. This is new since he moved up to Washington. Usually a white man.
This, sir, is a beautiful rosé from Dama Wines in Walla Walla Valley.
Oh my goodness. I'm just saying, look, I love clam chowder, but you're saying you've never even had it, right?
Why would I?
Even right there, if we're going greatest soup of all time and you haven't even tried it, it can't be the greatest soup of all time.
Well, you know why? Because it's from New England. So why, like, first of all, why are you eating New England soups? What's wrong with you?
Look, I'm just saying, you know, where's it at? This is my team. I bleed black, but I eat white. All right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just think about that.
Yeah, Tom Brady coming over later. You guys gonna hang and eat kale or whatever the fuck they do?
Oh, don't get started on kale yet. We got kale soups to come. But between these two, sound the horn.
All right. That one wins. All right. Chicken noodle because New England sucks. All right. So we're starting at the top of the list now?
Starting at the top.
All right. Split pea soup.
Split pea soup. I love a split pea. But you know what you need?
Is it just peas split in half?
I think there's peas split in half in there. It's a green pea-based soup, but it's, you know what you need for it to be a split pea soup? You need ham. You need some good ham, like the butt portion of the ham. You got to eat the butt in your soup. You need to have some good meaty ham in there with the ham bone to give it the flavor. That's what makes split pea. Some little carrots up in there. Oh man, it's the best green thing to eat. Fuck a salad. I said it.
Why would there be ham and carrots in a pea soup? Wouldn't it be peas only?
No.
Wouldn't it then be like ham and pea soup?
No, it's not. First off, it's not called only pea soup. If someone served you some only pea soup, I would really question, where they're coming from.
Well, if you put ham in it, then it's ham and pea soup. Why isn't it called ham and pea soup?
No, you're fucking wrong. Okay, split pea. You got your peas, make it green. It's pea based. Split peas. The split. You got to evenly split the onion, carrots, and ham. Actually, it's not gonna have to be fair. Put a lot of ham up in there. Put a lot of ham up in your soup.
You want ham soup?
It ain't called ham soup. You crazy? It's split pea soup. What the hell?
Ham and pea.
Look, man, people, the perps are chiming in and saying you don't know shit about your soup.
Well, I don't. You know why? Because I don't eat soup. Because soup is, unless it's chicken noodle or chicken and stars, that's the best one, by the way. Chicken and stars is even better. Chicken and stars is the premier soup. But
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Let me, you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth and you listen to me for 1 second. Ham, peas, carrots, onions. It sounds delicious.
It is delicious.
But here's why it could never be the greatest soup of all time. Because it has the word pea in it. I'm not eating no pea.
Fine.
I ain't drinking no pea. I ain't eating no pea.
Well, you need to broaden your horizons because pea is delicious.
All right. Next on the list is a Southwest chicken soup. It has chicken in it, and it has, I guess, the Southwest in it. So it must be tasty.
Okay.
Now, Southwest chicken soup?
Now, do you know what makes something Southwest?
Generally salsa. Y aguacate.
Oh yeah, okay. You're on the right lines now. When I think Southwest, I think maybe tortilla strips, avocado. Maybe it's got a little kick to it, but not necessarily in a soup. I think
But you're talking about tortilla strips and stuff. Oh, well, hang on, because the next one on the list is chicken tortilla soup.
See, and I've had Southwest chicken tortilla, but the thing is, some tortilla soups. Wait, are we talking tortilla soup now? Or are we talking?
I think we got to combine these two, because if you're talking about little tortilla strips, and now you're talking about chicken tortilla soup. And let me tell you this: chicken tortilla soup is fantastic. And if there's a Southwest flair to it, that's good stuff.
Let's go through it, and then we can combine.
Hey, listen, you know I love a sweet three-way.
Dude, who doesn't? Who the heck doesn't? Hold on here. Now, before we merge a Southwest chicken and the tortilla, which is amazing, by the way, you got to understand why they're two separate categories to start with. You can straight up make, like tonight, I made like a red enchilada rice, like a Spanish rice, but then I just added some enchilada sauce and some sliced black olives, which you probably don't like because you got a yuck mouth.
First of all, I love black olives.
No.
I put extra black olives on everything.
You put that shit on everything.
I put that shit on everything. I put it on my pizzas. I put it on my salads.
Wow.
I have snacks. I have bowls of black olives. I just pop.
Do you ever take the olive and put them right on your fingertips and then be like, oh, I'm crazy olive hands?
Every time.
Every fucking time.
Every time.
Well, let me tell you, you can make an enchilada type tortilla soup that is not a Southwest soup. I would say that's more of a Mexican style tortilla.
That's interesting because the one after chicken tortilla soup is chicken enchilada.
What the hell? You trying to make this a four-way right now?
Hey! If people want to just pop on in,
okay,
get in on this shit. Hey, I ain't want to judge.
Let's go ahead. Let's make it okay. And someone had said they're asking a question: tortillas cooked into the soup or crispy tortilla strips added at serving time? It just depends. Okay,
both.
It depends. If you're making a tortilla style soup, it's probably cooked right into the sauce. So you have it in the soup itself to give it added sustenance. But if you're gonna do a Southwest chicken soup, I think
that's where you get the crunchy strips on the top, kind of like exactly. Also, with the enchilada, the chicken enchilada soup, it's in the soup.
Right. So so you're saying we had I'm gonna add this too. We got a chicken enchilada soup in here. So let's just combine them. Should we make a Southwest? Are we saying Southwest chicken tortilla? Or are we
with green enchilada sauce?
That's too much.
No,
see, they're wrong.
No, you know what? Because that might be the greatest soup of all time. That would be chicken noodle to me.
Southwest chicken tortilla
enchilada, green enchilada.
That's not a soup. I refuse. That's too much. That's not. I'm with you. Look, we can agree on here. We're gonna do it right here. Southwest chicken tortilla.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm with you.
Okay. Well, then separately, we're gonna have a chicken enchilada soup that you put, which I didn't know was the thing. I've had chicken enchilada casserole. I've made chicken enchilada casserole.
Okay.
The trick is don't put in too much cumin, because if you do, you can't eat it and you're gonna have to throw it all away, and it's gonna really hurt the day after.
Wait a second now. What are you putting cumin in?
Chicken enchiladas casserole.
What the hell? Why would you put cumin in anything? Isn't cumin like for Indian food? What the hell does cumin taste like?
My man, you need to have some of my chicken enchiladas.
Oh, I'm down. I would love to eat your chicken enchiladas while you're tasting my what soup? What soup was I giving you? Split pea soup?
You make some split pea? I'll make some chicken enchiladas. We'll have a good day.
Dude, that's a shoot.
That's a good day.
I'm telling you.
By the way, a lot of just green stuff just being ingested. Just all weird green shit going.
I don't know about you, Zach, but I'm getting soup horny.
Rev it up.
All right.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. Yeah. Either. Okay.
We're getting off track.
Between these two, look, we're taking too much damn time. Southwest chicken tortilla soup with the crunch on top, with some avocado on top, with some roasted corn in it, some roasted green chili, some onion. I'm a big onion guy. Are you an onion guy? I love a grilled onion. You know,
Mm-hmm.
onions are just a fucking vehicle for butter. Swear it, man. You just cook it in the butter, soaks it up. That's all it is. Put that in the soup. It's good, but I'll tell you what, I would not be able to eat that Southwest chicken tortilla soup every week.
That's where I could. See,
Really?
and the reason I don't eat a lot of soups actually is because soup isn't very hearty. I like a hearty soup. I like more of a stew, you know. So something that has some beef, or not literal beef, but something that has some girth to it. You know what I mean? I want something when I eat it, I go, hey, you know what? I am satiated and I'm ready to face my day. Not somewhere I eat it and I go, oh well, I just sucked some fluid in and now I'm hungry 10 minutes later. That's not what I want.
Okay, so then let's do this. I say chicken noodle beats Southwest chicken tortilla as the greatest soup of all time between the two. But then I would like to sub in beef stew as a contender to the chicken noodle.
Oh. No, see, that throws a huge wrench in the game because beef stew, but beef stew is a stew.
Yeah,
that's comparing two different things. Because stew, you can just throw whatever you want there.
Stew is stew. You're trying to tell me stew's not soup? What is stew?
No. Well, stew is soup, but is soup a stew?
No, not all soup is stew. Not all soup is stew, but all stew is soup.
All stew is soup, but not all soups are stews. So, can you count it in the soup debate?
Greatest soup of all time? You know, maybe you can't, because I don't think a stew can be the greatest soup of all time because there's so many soups in the soup category that are not stew. True?
That's true. You ain't wrong.
Well, do you want to let okay, so let's say we're not letting chili in the debate, we're not letting beef stew in the debate.
We can't do it. We can't do it.
Sorry, beef stew. You're delicious.
Denty Moore, sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down. Put a fork in it. You're done, Denty Moore.
That's right.
Get out of here.
Now, that said, let's go back to our Southwest chicken tortilla. I love a chicken tortilla. I love a Southwest chicken tortilla. Whatever it is, that sounds delicious to me.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, the history of chicken noodle, the vibrancy, the allure of chicken noodle is way greater than Southwest chicken tortilla soup.
Not just that.
You can't just discount it.
Are
we going by taste or are we going by everything?
By everything, and not just the medicinal property, because you know Jewish people, Jewish soul food, they call it chicken soup for the soul. Mm-hmm. That whole thing, it's just look, carrots, celery, chicken or chicken stock.
Chicken noodle soup is synonymous with soup. It is the Coca-Cola of soups.
It is.
Soups.
It's the one seed. And you were talking about chicken and stars, and I was talking shit about it. But honestly, if you have kids, any noodle, it doesn't matter the shape. It can be stars, it can be letters, it can be fusilli, it can be egg noodles, it can be any noodle, you know? And I for one like a creamy chicken noodle soup. Do you like a creamy chicken noodle soup, or do you like a more thin broth?
I don't mind a creamy chicken noodle soup unless it's actually creamy, because in my tummy, I get too old and my tummy.
Oh. You got the lactose intolerance, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not. So this makes it tough because there are a lot of creamy soups that just right off the jump you're just not eating.
Oh no, because I'll still eat them.
Oh,
I got no problem with eating it.
Okay,
it's just not gonna make me feel good.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like a Southwest chicken tortilla soup, I'm gonna eat it.
Right.
It might have a little dairy, but you know what? I'm gonna eat it. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more on this list that I will sacrifice some pain to get a little bit.
Okay, and we do got to keep it moving. We can't get stuck here. But
why? No, let's just stay here for like 20 more minutes.
We've already been here 20 minutes. So just chicken noodle or Southwest chicken tortilla. Go ahead.
Look, personal preference. I love a chicken tortilla soup. A very good chicken tortilla soup beats a very good chicken noodle soup.
Really?
There's more flavors involved. There's just more happening.
Some people can't eat spicy. Some people are allergic to avocados. Doesn't Southwest automatically include black beans in there too? We didn't even talk about black beans.
Oh, I don't know what's out. I'm talking about chicken tortilla soup. You added the Southwest like there's some avocado and some tortilla shavings on it.
But I think Southwest also means black beans. And I'll tell you right now, I don't really even want beans in my soup. I'd rather have noodles.
That's true. That is true.
Chicken noodle is the
Do you want to keep going with chicken noodle? You don't think you should take it over?
Chicken noodle.
Okay, I'll give you that one. That's your call.
Okay.
If you disagree, I'll give you that tiebreaker because you are the soup master. You are the soup plantation master.
Let me ask you this. Hey, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna get back to you about it tomorrow. Let me ask you this: should we talk about chicken enchilada soup? Should we even get into it or no?
Is there a chicken enchilada soup? I have like I said, chicken enchilada casserole.
Right.
But chicken enchilada soup.
It seems
if you put chicken and like tortillas in like an enchilada sauce, that's like a casserole. That's not a soup.
It just seems like you were trying to make enchiladas and it was a little too runny, or you had too much chicken stock in there or something. And you're like, oh, this is chicken enchilada soup. And I'm sure it tastes good. I like all those ingredients. I like all those flavors. But it's not,
I don't think that's a thing.
Of all time. Get out of here, chicken enchilada.
You can have chicken enchiladas. You can have chicken enchilada casserole. You can't have chicken enchilada soup. I put my hand down.
Yeah, and I put my foot in it. So get the hell out of here, chicken enchilada soup. You are not the greatest soup of all time. What else you got, Zach?
Which goes next? Chicken and dumplings.
Ooh.
Is that a soup?
Yes, it is.
Dumplings in a soup?
Oh man, you never had. See, this is what I'm saying, Zach.
I've had dumplings, but I don't put dumplings in a soup. I have dumplings as dumplings.
I'm not gonna lie. I just thought cumplings. It's not cumplings though. Let me. No, I put a cumpling instead of a dumpling, and that ain't right. Fix.
That sounds pretty dumbling.
You son of a bitch. Okay, chicken and dumpling soup. First off, it's another cream-based soup, so if you're lactose intolerant, it may explain why. The dumplings, though, in chicken and dumpling soup, they're like Okay. Have you ever had matzo ball soup?
No, I'm not Jewish.
Okay, matzo balls are like giant. Okay, imagine a meatball. Imagine a meatball, but made out of. Well, probably made out of matzo. But like the dumpling, I don't know what that stuff is. It's kind of soft.
It's doughy. Yeah, I know what a dumpling is. I've had dumplings.
Okay, then if you had a dumpling, you had chicken. Why can't you imagine chicken and dumpling soup?
I just said this. I said I know chicken. I know dumplings. I don't know that they put them in a soup. It's not that I can't imagine it. In my head, I could see you put some chicken, you put some dumplings, maybe a little chicken broth, and you put some water and some celery and and what? You have a soup.
Right.
I get it.
But
why is that anything special? It's just chicken. You just put dumplings in some broth and
look. No, you're right. You sold me because chicken and dumplings is a meal on its own. You know, you can have what's for dinner? Chicken and dumplings.
So drop it in chicken broth and call it a soup? Like you can do that with anything. Hey, you know what? I'm having a cheeseburger tonight. I drop it in some chicken broth and all of a sudden I got cheeseburger soup.
Beef broth, but yes, and chicken.
Chicken broth. Everything in chicken broth.
Dude, they had a cheeseburger soup on the internet as an option, and I was like, no.
I've actually heard about that, and I'd like to try it because I love cheeseburgers.
Because you have the mouth of an 8-year-old. We decided that.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you like a cheeseburger?
Oh, I love a cheeseburger.
Then shut the fuck up. All right. Next on the list. Next on the list is ramen.
Wait a second. You didn't sound the horn. You didn't even sound the horn.
Shit.
We gotta let the people know who's moving on.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right.
The whole floor is being fucked up now. I already put up the title card. Now they already know what's next. It's right there.
There we go. That's for the next three, just in case I forget. All right. Okay. Next on the list is ramen. Now, here's the thing with ramen. If ramen is on the list, because ramen is, I guess a soup. Definitely a soup.
Yeah.
Then shouldn't SpaghettiOs be on the list?
Oh, hell no. Look,
Why?
Okay. let me tell you, because you're thinking top ramen.
No. I'm talking about ramen. You go to a ramen restaurant. You put I'm talking about real ramen.
Right, like you go to a ramen.
Thing.
It's good, and it's noodles. You know what it is? It might be, and I don't see. And this is where I'm gonna show my own ignorance, is because I don't know where it originated. If ramen originated in Japan, or if it, I know pho is Vietnamese, but I don't know where ramen originated. But I think it's like an Eastern equivalent to their chicken noodle soup. So like America or the West is like, oh, chicken noodle soup. And then, if you're in
ramen has 1,000 different, but ramen has 1,000 different things. Like ramen is just like their style of soup. It has the ramen noodles instead of, whatever other things that you put in there. So that's what I'm saying. It's all ramen is soup, but not all soup is ramen.
Right.
I think that falls into the stew debate.
Uh-oh.
So I think ramen is stew adjacent. And I love ramen. Don't get me wrong. I love a good ramen. I like a spicy ramen. You ever had a spicy ramen?
Oh yeah.
Oh, like a little bit of hot sauce in that bitch. Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, a little barbecue pork on there. You ever had that?
That's not bad. No, but I'm down. All right, you know what? Here's what we do. You come over here, we bring a split piece soup. I'll make some chicken enchiladas, and then after that, we'll go get some ramen.
Ooh man, we're gonna have some powerful diarrhea, but it's gonna be worth it.
But it's gonna be a damn good day. All right. Oh. But is ramen a soup?
Of course ramen is soup. What would it be?
But it's soup ramen?
No, not all soup is ramen, but and I don't know. Okay, you know what I used to do when I was a kid with the top ramen? I used to prepare it, but then I used to like pour out the broth, and I used to almost eat it like it was a pasta.
Interesting.
One of the perps just chimed in, and forgive me if I'm not saying your name. The platform that we do our vlog on doesn't show me the names of who's commenting right off. So you're gonna need to sign your name if you want me to do your shout out. But
also, he's not interested in giving you any credit for any of your thoughts. He thinks your opinions are invalid.
That's only you, my friend. That's only you, because you are a threat. You are a threat to me.
That's correct. That's me.
Right. Someone said ramen is only 15 cents in the store. Poor college kids live off that shit for months. That alone makes it better than chicken noodle. A fair point, but it has zero nutritional value.
Yes, that's also like that's top ramen. That's not ramen. That's top ramen.
Right. Yeah. So essentially what we're saying to you is you're stupid, perp. You're stupid. You keep your fucking opinion to yourself. Let us do the show. God damn it.
Your opinion is invalid and we hate you.
Yeah. Okay. But just kidding. Please tell your friends to tune in.
But please love Eric.
Yeah. Please love Eric. Okay. I don't know. Ramen is more diverse, but chicken noodle to me, it's like not really even a competition.
But here's why I said, but here's why it is. Here's why it is a competition, and here's why it's like stew, is because ramen can take on 1,000 different forms. Like I said, we're talking about spicy ramen. Well, are we talking about spicy ramen? Are we talking about chicken ramen? Are we talking about with ramen with barbecue pork on it? I think it's the same thing as stew. I think it needs to be disqualified. I think we need to kick it out.
Put the kibosh on it. All right, sound the horn.
Wait, no, that's we need like a reverse horn.
Oh.
Yeah, because we're taking it out.
All right, okay, fair enough. We're getting rid of the ramen.
Oh, okay. I just looked at the next two on the list. Now we're getting into my territory. Next one is pozole.
Oh, pozole. Now, okay, you might need to explain what pozole is to our audience that's not on the West Coast or not in El Norte, where we are here in Southern California, where we have a lot of Mexican influence to a lot of.
I'm not in Southern California.
Well, you were born in Whittier. You're more, Latin adjacent than I am, as someone who's half Costa Rican. I've had pozole, but I think you probably had more pozole than I have in your lifetime. How do you feel about that?
You know what's actually funny? I didn't even have pozole for the first time like within the last 4 years. I'd never had pozole before. Pozole and the other thing was birria. I never had birria before, and I love them both. And I've been introduced to them. And I love them both. But pozole, is that a stew? It has pozole has hominy, and it has no. You know what? I think it's very specific because there's not a lot of variation on pozole. I think it is a soup because you can have chicken pozole, you can have the pork, but like there's not or beef. Wait, I don't remember. Is it pork or I think it's pork.
I think
that's kind of it. You have the green and the red. That's pretty much it. Although I've heard of a white. I think they make a white pozole, and I think you could have slight variations, but it's basically all meat, hominy, and juice.
What exactly is hominy? I know, isn't hominy what corn nuts are?
It's just big ass corn.
Is that all it is?
That's all. It's just big ass corn. That's all.
It's a little weird. I know pozole is good. It's a good hangover food. But you know what?
Oh, well, yeah, okay, yeah.
It's not even my favorite Mexican soup, honestly. There's other Mexican soups on this list that I would
Albóndigas?
Albóndigas.
Ay, güey. Okay, well, we're not there yet, but okay, all right. So if it's not even your favorite,
let's give it a pozole and let's throw albóndigas in there right now. What do you say?
You want to put albóndigas? Albóndigas. Well, here's the only not the only thing. Here's the best thing I like about albóndigas. It's fun to say. Albóndigas.
Yeah. Well, I think this is probably problematic. Let's just keep it moving. But it is fun to say. We can agree.
Albóndigas.
Albóndigas. Oh wait, why am I doing an Italian hand thing? Albóndigas.
Albóndigas.
That's fun to say.
Albóndigas in any language is fantastic. Do it like a Greek. Albóndigas.
Albóndigas. I wonder if there's any like Latin American countries right now where there's two guys just sitting around going chicken noodles,
chicken and stars,
chicken noodles,
split pea.
Wait, let's keep moving. All right. Albóndigas has meatballs in it.
Oh, I thought you meant keep it moving like albóndigas lost.
Well, you sounded the horn, so now I don't even know what to do.
All right, well, okay. I already sounded the horn, so I already lost. But what's in albóndigas? I don't think I've ever had it.
Really?
No.
You never had albóndigas? It has some sort of like pork meatballs in it. It has well, I don't want to say it. See, someone's gonna get mad at me if I say it has a similar broth to pozole. They'd be like, "What are you talking about? Totally different broth." There's no hominy in it. It's just like a vegetable soup, a vegetable soup with pork meatballs. Actually, it's good. Don't get me wrong; that shit is tasty, but it doesn't have the same diversity as chicken noodle soup does, in my mind, at least. It's just tasty.
I have to ask you.
Yeah.
What soup are we talking about again? What soup are we just talking about?
Albóndigas!
All right, next on the list. What's next on the list? Oh, here we go. Because I was looking for albóndigas. I'm like, where's albóndigas? Because it's not on the list. You know what's next on the list?
Well, who won?
I already sounded the horn earlier.
Oh, okay.
I sounded it out of turn, but I can't just sound the horn every time.
Okay, well then you tell me.
All right, fine. Albóndigas! Lost to chicken noodle.
Oh, okay. Woo.
You know what's next on the list?
Who's
French onion soup.
Who's that?
French onion soup, and I love French onion soup. I like French onion soup because you put like the cheese on the top. I think it's like mozzarella cheese. You just put it on the top and you eat that, and it's so good.
I don't think it's mozzarella cheese.
I don't know what it is. It's some kind of cheese.
In fact, I know it's not mozzarella because mozzarella is Italian, and if it's French onion soup, it's got to be a French cheese. So
wait, all right, Alexa, let's ask our producer.
We need to know.
Alexa, what kind of cheese goes on French onion soup? Our producer's absolutely useless.
The worst.
You know what? How much do we pay her?
I mean, whatever it is too much. How much did it cost when you bought it? Like $80?
French onion soup. All right, it's less than that.
Let me ask my phone. Okay, Google. What type of cheese gets melted on top of French onion soup?
Where are the perps on this? Aren't the
I-
perps supposed to know this stuff?
True. Well, look, I got a bunch of stuff back to me, but it didn't speak it into existence.
Yeah, all right. Like I'm just gonna go to a French onion recipe.
No, I'm looking. I'm looking at one right now.
Oh no, it's too late. It's too late because I'm already here. Because
I'm already here.
and I found it. I'm not no, because I'm gonna find it right now, and then you're gonna look like a real doofus.
Oh, how dare you?
Wait, what? This is apple.
Oh, look. Here are
Corn.
my favorite cheeses for French onion: provolone, Gruyere, Fontina, mozzarella, Monterey Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So this person is using like a white cheese blend.
Conglomeration of white cheese.
Provolone, Gruyere, Fontina, mozzarella, Monterey Jack. Just all mixed together, melt that shit right on top.
Mozzarella.
Which brings back the bread bowl. You need a bread bowl for real French onions.
No, okay, you know what? For French onion soup, I will approve because that could be delicious.
But you know what? Sometimes I've had it where they cook the bowl it's served in has like a little handle right on the bowl, and then they put a piece of bread on top of the soup, and then they melt the cheese on that piece of bread, and they just sort of like heat that whole thing in a broiler or something. So it's not a whole bread bowl. It's just like a piece of French bread right on top of the soup.
You just sop it up with a biscuit?
You never had it like that?
No.
With the you have your bowl of soup. They take a slice of French bread.
I get it. I get it.
Right on top of the soup, soaking it all up. It's already so when you get it, it's all soaked in to the bread already. It's not a piece of toast. And then they melt the cheese on top of that bread. And then you just take your spoon, you mash that shit right all in the soup. Mash that shit right up in there. It's delicious.
That's fine. I got no problem with that at all. That sounds great.
Now,
I love French onion soup.
But no nutritional value to the French onion soup.
That's the problem. Is it's all taste. Like you're it's not going to get you full. It's not going to heal you. And you know what it's going to do? You're going to eat it, and by the time you get to the end, you're going to be like, "This is some salty ass soup."
It is salty.
That's what's going to happen by the end. It's going to be so good for 85% of the soup. The last 15%, you're going to go, "Whoo!" It's like smoking a cigar. Once you get it down to the end, you're going to be like, "Damn, this is a lot."
Yeah. I agree. To me, a French onion soup is a great appetizer. It's a great starter, but it's not the greatest soup of all time.
It's a great flavor appetizer, and I will frequently order at a nice restaurant because I know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Or at Mimi's Cafe.
Right.
Mimi's Cafe has some fantastic French onion soup. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, French onion soup goes down, and next up on the list is one you already talked about. Actually, is matzo ball soup. Matzo ball soup, for those of us goyim, can you explain what matzo ball soup is?
In a nutshell, matzo ball soup is it's the same broth as chicken noodle soup, and you might have the carrots and celery in it that you would find in a traditional chicken noodle soup, but then instead of noodles, you just have it's almost like a dumpling, but it's just made out of matzah. And I'm assuming, or matzah meal, I think they make these balls out of them. I'm assuming because during the week of Passover, leading up to Passover, observant Jews don't eat any bread-based items in observance of, when the Jews are coming out of Egypt, the Hebrews are coming out of Egypt, they didn't have any food. So they're like, okay, don't need any hummus, which is bread-based items for the week. So they make matzo ball soup. Wait, am I wrong here?
I don't know.
No, you're allowed to eat matzah. You can't eat anything that's leavened, anything that's risen. So I think they're probably making
bread. Unleavened bread is just
it's matzah.
The lifeblood.
Unleavened bread is matzah, essentially.
It's a lifeblood.
Well, I'm just saying, I think they're making matzo balls at that time. Like, we can eat this, and it was delicious. And then people are like, why don't you make that the rest of the year? And they're like, why not?
Listen, Jewish people are always making matzo balls out of molehills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yep. And, though, it's not the greatest soup of all time. I'll just say right now, because even Jewish people make chicken noodle. So there you go.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
Not the greatest soup of all time.
Well, why didn't you ask?
I just said explain it for the Goyams. That's all we need.
All right.
You know, here's an interesting entry.
Okay.
Loaded potato soup.
Oh.
Because loaded potatoes are delicious. Like potato skin. It's basically potato skins in some broth, right? That's all it is.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's like it's a cream of potato soup.
Mm-hmm.
So you got your bacon, you got your sour cream, maybe some green onions,
A little bit of chives, yeah, whatever you got in there.
What else? I mean, is that it? Cheese, cheddar cheese. Get some cheddar cheese all up in the mix, and then just creamy potato. Dude, this episode has made me hungrier than any episode we've ever done.
Yeah.
A loaded potato soup is delicious.
That sounds fantastic.
It's not good for you. It's the opposite of good for you. It's probably 1,000 calories a bowl.
Mm-hmm. Is it better than chicken noodle?
It's so good. The thing is, to me, chicken noodle is a meal on its own. Like, what are we having for dinner? Oh, chicken noodle soup. Okay, and you can just eat as much of that as you want. Loaded potato soup, to me, that's like something I would want with a steak on the side. Is that just me being gluttonous?
No, that sounds like a side dish.
Right?
More than it does like a starter or something like that. Yeah, which I appreciate. Like I said, I like a hearty soup.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what that's a heavy soup. Mm-hmm. Look, someone who doesn't eat that much would probably call it a whole meal. But we're some hungry men, and we want, when a hungry man isn't eating a Hungry Men TV dinner, he wants some loaded potato soup with a steak to go.
So, is it better than chicken noodle?
No.
That's all you need.
That's all we need. It's delicious. I would rather have some loaded potato soup right now than chicken noodle soup. If you had a bowl of each for me.
Well, here's what I don't want, because next on the list is cabbage soup.
Oh.
And I'm just gonna say this: cabbage soup is not the greatest soup. There's no way in hell that cabbage soup is the greatest soup.
Now, I'm assuming, and you're probably right, but I'm assuming you've never had cabbage soup, right?
Why would I eat cabbage soup?
Because it's diet food. When you want to lose,
isn't that what they gave the Jews in Auschwitz?
Probably. It's diet food. It's like if you want to lose weight, let's say you're a fighter and you need to cut weight for your weigh-in.
Cabbage soup?
Yes, because it's essentially just water. So you can make it spicy with cayenne pepper. I don't know. I mean, you could add some meat if you didn't want it to be just total diet food. But cabbage soup on its own, you can feel full, but like you are not really getting nutrients, and you'll just drop weight like crazy and poop it right out. That's not the greatest soup of all time. Let's be real. Ain't no way. Yeah. Ain't no way cabbage soup is knocking chicken noodle off the throne.
No, but you know what might be the greatest soup of all time?
What's that?
Broccoli and cheese soup.
Oh, like a cheddar broccoli?
Like a cheddar broccoli soup, broccoli cheese, whatever you want to call it, cheesy broccoli soup. Mm-hmm. When you got some broccoli with some good cheese, nice cheese broth, that's some good soup.
It is a good soup. It's probably the best avenue for eating broccoli, the cheesy broccoli soup.
Here's where it falls short, though, is because you can have the cheesy broccoli soup and all that kind of stuff, or you could just have some broccoli, cook up some broccoli, and put some cheese on it,
which is also very good.
Yeah, but it's no different. It's not. I hesitate to call it a soup, even when made in soup form, because then you're just wasting all the cheese.
But the base itself is not just cheese. The base is cream of broccoli soup with cheddar mixed into it, or some sort of.
Oh no! See, I'm talking about like a cheese, like a cream cheese broth, like where it's just like yellow cheese broth with like broccoli in it. That's
How do you, I've had that, but what is that stuff? How do you make a yellow broth?
It's just cheese. You melt down some cheese, like nacho cheese. Get like some nacho cheese in there.
And just cream it right in the cheese.
And then just drop some broccoli in that nacho cheese. That's all you need.
Wow. Delicious. I would eat it, but
it's unhealthy and it's not the greatest soup of all time.
not greatest soup of all time. No. Another soup that's great as a starter before your meal.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It's good for a flavor. It's like loaded potato soup. It's like it's good. You eat it and it's like, this is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
This is really bad for me. I'm gonna gain 20 pounds, but you know what? Right at this moment, this is fantastic.
I want a big cup of it, but I don't want a bowl.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's start rifling through some of this shit. Are you ready?
Yeah, give it to me.
Tomato basil soup.
Okay, I love a tomato basil soup.
Now here's you put tomato basil soup, but I don't see any tomato soup.
Is tomato basil soup not tomato soup?
Well, it might be. Maybe there's basil in it, but tomato soup is just tomato soup.
Okay, well, we can get rid of the basil and say.
All right, so we're assuming this is all tomato soup.
Let's say, okay, let's change it. Let's make it tomato soup with the option of adding
basil.
Of adding a little basil garnish on top, if you so choose.
Fair enough.
You know, first off, nothing pairs better with a grilled cheese sandwich than tomato soup. Nothing. You know, you dip your grilled cheese right in the tomato soup. You take a bite.
Nope. That's where you lost me.
What?
Why would you sully a grilled cheese by dipping it in some tomato soup?
Oh, because that flavor combination is amazing.
Why don't you just throw some ketchup on the motherfucker? Is that what you want? How dare you? How dare you?
Hold up now. First off, not the worst idea. A little ketchup on a grilled cheese might be good.
No. Wait. You're going to come after me. You're going to sit there on this side of me, right?
Yeah.
Are you on this side of me?
I am.
I need to look at you. You're going to sit there. And you're going to tell me, you are going to tell me that I have the palate of a 6-year-old. And you're talking about putting ketchup on your grilled cheese?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
How dare you?
I'm just saying.
No, you know what? No. Mm-mm.
Well, two can play at that game, then fine.
No, I'm not even going to look at you.
Fine.
I can't even look at you.
I'll go right to the perps. Look.
I can't even look at you right now.
That's fine. Look, at perps. Tomato soup is delicious. If you haven't, put a little Parmesan cheese right on top of your tomato soup. Put a little fresh basil right on top of your soup. Eat it with the grilled cheese sandwich, preferably made with sourdough bread. Delicious, delicious. But that's for a different conversation. That's a sourdough grilled cheese conversation. Some people use mayonnaise to fry up their bread and not butter. Now, did you know that's a thing, Brother Zach? You know some people do that? That's your people. Anywho.
No, that is not my people. Don't you tell. Just because mayonnaise is white, don't mean that's my people.
Who are you giving the mayonnaise to if not the whites?
Look, I'll put mayonnaise on a turkey sandwich, but I ain't cooking grilled cheese sandwiches and mayonnaise. That's ridiculous.
Some people grill the bread with mayonnaise instead of butter.
No, nobody does that.
Yeah, they do. No. I'm telling you, I've heard it. It's a thing.
No. Those are not white people. Those are weird people.
All right.
Distinction.
I like a buttery grilled cheese sandwich myself.
Now, let me ask you this. Hey, a little butter? You put garlic on that motherfucker?
Do what now?
Do you put garlic?
I've never have. Really?
Yeah, you got to get a little garlic on that.
A little garlic paste, or what are you doing? Some fresh garlic? How you doing it?
Yeah. No, you can do like some minced garlic, something like that. I mean, you could just put garlic powder. You just put garlic powder just a little bit in the butter. Put some butter and a little garlic in there. Yeah.
That's the way.
Imagine it tastes kind of like garlic bread. Like you put a little garlic bread, like that kind of thing.
Oh, I love me some garlic butter, but I never thought on the grilled cheese. Okay, I got to do it.
Just saying.
All right. Yeah. And then you know what I'm gonna do with it? I'm gonna dip that shit right in the tomato soup. I'm dipping it right in the tomato soup. It's gonna be so good. Slam dunk.
You know what? Listen. You know what that sound is?
What's that?
Tomato soup, losing. You know why? Because tomato soup, it's just wet tomatoes.
It's runny tomato sauce.
It's wet ass tomatoes. That's all it is.
Wet ass marinara sauce. What the hell?
That's all it is. All right. No, we got all kinds of weird stuff here. All right, let's move down to something a little more ethnic.
Okay.
Pho.
Oh.
Spelled pho, pronounced pho.
No, spelled pho, pronounced pho.
Pho.
Pho. So here's the thing.
Pho.
No, pho.
If you're the king of pho, you're
right.
the pho king. Yes, we all have.
You're the pho king. It'd be the pho king.
Mm-hmm.
And there are restaurants called pho king because Vietnamese people and those in the know go like sex. But it's pho. Now pho is like a ramen, but it's different consistency noodle.
I would say it's more almost like a stew.
How so?
In that it's essentially like you just throw it all into like and actually I probably haven't had great pho. All the phos I've had have been basically just like water with a bunch of shit in it. It's not very good.
You know what though? That does sound like pho. That sounds like the pho I've had too. Like the broth of the pho, the soup of the pho is not the best part.
That should be the star. Like
right.
The broth is what gives everything its flavor. That's what everything absorbs. Everything I have is just like, oh no, we're just gonna put it in this wet shit and maybe a little salt.
Everything.
We're just gonna drop it in there.
Everything on top. So you could have like, let's say, roasted egg. You could have some grilled chicken or some shrimp on it. You have all these different vegetables mixed in. You mix it all up. You're eating the noodles with all that stuff, and it's wet from the broth or the soup, but the actual broth itself is not great.
No.
So,
and you know what? Yeah, regardless of whether it's stew or soup, yeah. I think for that reason it cannot be the greatest soup because the broth is generally like the best part. That's the whole point.
You've never been more right in your life.
Which is upsetting because I know lots of people who love pho, but I don't think I've had great pho. I think that's the problem. But I've been to places where like, oh, they have good pho here, and it's like, it's fine. It tastes like wet ass vegetables. And
you know what I prefer, and now I might be mixing up too many things. In fact, I think this is Japanese, and we're talking about something Vietnamese earlier, so this is problematic. But you ever had yakitori?
No.
Essentially, it's fried chicken on a stick. Get yourself some yakitori in your life. Some little piece of fried chicken on a stick. Oh,
it's not bad. I'm gonna need. You know, I don't see very well. I'm gonna need some help with the next item on this list.
Oh, we got pho, and then we got albondigas.
Albondigas.
We already touched on albondigas.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess we'll move along then. The next one here is Italian wedding.
Okay. Have you ever had Italian?
It's Italian wedding soup, and then right underneath that, I'm gonna bring this in too because it's here and it's basically the same. Italian sausage and kale.
Okay, these are different. So first off, we can't do both at the same time.
Italian wedding soup.
Okay. Italian wedding is not a great soup.
Oh, come on. Look, first of all, I could just picture an Italian wedding, and I'd like to do right now my impression of people at an Italian wedding when they see their soup. You ready?
I'm ready. You're incorrect. I see how you could have assumed that, okay. But no. Italian wedding, first off, it's almost like a minestrone, which we had agreed upon didn't even make the cut. It has little tiny, almost like macaroni noodles, but they don't curve. They're just straight, but they're short. They're small. So you got these little noodles in there. You got little teeny tiny meatballs in there. And then you just got like maybe some like kidney beans in there and some random vegetables. It's too much. It's another one of these things where it's like, okay, here's a starter. Oh, this soup, thank you. This soup was hearty. I'm not hungry anymore, but I'm not satisfied in the least. It's all the leftovers. It's making a soup of your leftovers.
That is 90% of the soups that I have, and yeah. All right, for that reason, it's out. That sounds awful. All right, what about Italian sausage and kale? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say because it has kale in it, it's off my list.
Okay, well, remember when we got so excited about the Olive Garden earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Their Zuppa Toscana soup is actually Italian sausage and kale. So essentially, and I think it doesn't have to be a white cream broth. I prefer mine in a cream broth because I'm that type of guy. But essentially, it's ground. Yeah, it's ground sausage, and then kale. You see, I don't know what else goes in there. Now, kale to me is not even so much something you should eat as much as you should just use it as a decorative item around the salad bar at your buffet. Like it should be underneath the food that you're eating. Like it's just like, oh, look at all that. It's on a, but it's rough.
Yeah, kale's not a superfood. It's just not tasty.
But it actually works in the Italian sausage and kale, aka the Zuppa Toscana. And I'm thinking that means soup, Tuscan soup. You see what I'm saying here? Is it better than
Tuscan, son?
Right? Is it better than chicken noodle? No.
No, anything with kale is not going to be better than chicken noodle. It's just
no. I saw we skipped one. We skipped a soup earlier, but with good reason. We skipped lentil.
Where? Oh, we did skip lentil. Oh, because it was tomato. Yeah, because there's nothing good about lentil soup.
Done. You're right. Agreed. Lentil. Bye lentil.
There you go. There you get some of that. All right. The next one you have on this list: Tuscan ham and bean.
Okay. Now, okay. I'm gonna put it down. Fuck no. It's not better than chicken noodle. Because it's beans. It's white bean soup. So get out of here, Tuscan ham and bean.
Tuscan ham sounds good. Mushroom. Did you already talk about mushroom and barley soup? Did you already talk about mushroom and barley soup?
Aha. No, this is different. This is mushroom and wild rice.
Well, okay. Well, no, there's mushroom and barley and the mushroom and wild rice.
Totally different.
The same. But now here's the thing. What about chicken and wild rice? Is it just like put in whatever you want with wild rice?
I've had chicken and rice soup, but I've never had chicken and wild rice. I've had chicken and it's like white rice. And it's like chicken noodle, but with white rice in there.
No, they have the wild rice too. I've had that.
You had chicken and wild rice?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Progresso has a chicken and wild rice.
Okay, well, the mushroom and wild rice is good. I like mushroom soup. There's a lot of mushrooms I do like, and that's a totally different flavor. And I prefer the wild rice with it because it's got, the different grains all up in there. You got some black rice. You had a black grain of rice before? That's weird.
Oh, that's weird.
It is weird, but it tastes good. There's like a white one with a long black thing through it, a long brown thing through it.
I don't know.
Now, is mushroom and wild rice better than chicken noodle? No.
Why are we doing this?
You gotta throw 10. The perps have demanded it.
They've demanded what now?
They demanded that we talk about soup for 2 hours on our Sunday night for free.
Wait, who wanted this?
My mom.
Oh.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. You're welcome.
That's right.
Look, I got a stray dog in my garage. We're gonna have to wrap this up.
Okay, well, we'll move on here. Or you, if you want, we can leave it on a cliffhanger because so far.
Oh no! Because I was just looking through right now. It looks like we only have a few here.
Yeah, we're powering through.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, there's only a couple left. I might just throw these out, and you just give me a yes or no.
Oh, all right.
Because I'm gonna go out on a limb and say none of these are anywhere near chicken noodle.
Okay. All right. What do we got?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yep.
We already went through mushroom wild rice.
Right.
The next one, spinach and tortellini. Now that sounds pretty good. I like spinach. I like tortellini. Is that a rice? Is that a soup? Is that a soup?
It's not a soup I ever had. I would eat it if I ate it. It didn't make an impression.
That's a no.
Right.
Now, here's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Let's see if I could say it right. Clopino.
No, that's
Clopino.
that's Chopino, and that's actually worthy of the conversation. But I'll tell you what though. This is like a Spanish seafood soup, tomato-based seafood soup. So it's more along the lines of that Manhattan clam chowder, but it's got all the seafood in it. You got calamari, you got shrimp, you got maybe crab or lobster. You got whole, like split red potatoes in there. So it is almost a stew. I would say this is a stew and not a soup, because that's definitely a meal. It's heavy.
Stew. Sorry, Stu.
Stupid.
Gazpacho.
Oh.
I'm going to say everything ethnic now with that.
Now, have you ever had gazpacho? I don't think I've ever had gazpacho.
I don't know that I have.
Huh.
I can't picture gazpacho in my head. I know what the thing. I probably have at some point, but no, it didn't make enough impression on me, I guess.
I'm pretty sure it's a cold soup. It's like one of those soups you eat on a hot summer day, but I've never had it. It's.
I don't know.
Here. Okay.
Maybe I haven't had it. Maybe I haven't had it. I don't know.
Let me ask my assistant. Hold on one second. Okay, Google. What is gazpacho?
Here's the definition of gazpacho. A Spanish-style soup made from tomatoes and other vegetables and spices, served cold.
It's called tomato soup. That's not better.
Nope.
Yep.
Next one on the list. Pasta fagioli.
Okay. First off, it's pasta homosexual. And then, no, pasta
Wait. I gotta. Did you put that on the list just so you could make that joke?
No, but I didn't expect you to call it fagioli. Have you ever had?
Wait. Okay. How do you pronounce this word?
Fagioli. Well, okay. First off, the fact that
fagioli.
Let me tell you something. Since we have a split screen, you were just holding it up, so it just said fag.
Okay. Well, how do you pronounce that word?
Yeah, that's problematic.
It's not fudge. You don't say, "Hey, fudge."
It would have been fudge.
Hey, fudge. Hey, listen.
Hey.
Fudge.
It's pronounced fudge. No, that's essentially minestrone soup. It's essentially Italian wedding. I'm saying pasta fagioli is Italian wedding.
All right, I already sounded the horn.
Yeah.
What about Thai coconut curry? No.
All right.
There's nothing good about that. What's wrong with you?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure it's okay.
There's nothing good about that. Is this all right? And then it's just like some chowders on it. Now here's a problem I have with your list. Like the pistachio, you left off one that is probably the most serious contender to chicken noodle soup.
Okay.
And it's not even on the list.
Okay.
That's vegetable soup.
Huh. Okay.
Vegetable soup. Potatoes, carrots, celery, whatever you want to put. You put some vegetables in it with a really good vegetable broth. You're talking about a really good soup. Not only can it be an appetizer, which it can be, it can also be a filler if you make it real hearty.
Right.
It's a damn good soup.
You're right, and in fact, and it gives an entire a healthy option to not just vegetarians but to everyone. You're like because you got to eat your. It's hard to eat your vegetables sometimes. To get all your vegetables. So no, it's an excellent point you make. But you know what would make vegetable soup even better? Some chicken, and then
hang on. I do love chicken.
Right.
And I love it with stars. Get some chicken and some stars. Chicken noodle's the winner.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. What a fantastic time we had on this episode of the Perpendicular Mouth, talking about the soups. The greatest soup of all time, chicken noodle.
The greatest
Do you agree with this?
time.
Do you agree, chicken noodle?
Chicken noodle. I mean, look, people, there's a bunch of great soup, but chicken noodles, the soup goat.
Well, now let me ask you this. Do we just waste everybody's time by running through chicken noodle and nothing beat chicken noodle?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you guys next week or the week after or the next time we do this.
Mm-hmm.
Peace out.
Perpendicular mouth.
Perpendicular Mouth.